So 6 years ago, internet startup is not really big. There's none actually. It's very difficult. I was living in the province, Angono, Rizal. I don't have any network here in Manila. So Sulit was born in Angono, Rizal. We ran Sulit for 3 years, also in the province, in the in the house of my parents. We thought, why not we create our own, and maybe we can be one of those successful young guys creating an internet company. The problem back then is we don't have any idea what kind of website we're going to create. So, and Aryan came up with this idea of why not create a classified ads website. Sulit.com.ph came out as an experiment for both of us. And the good thing is I'm a web developer and I have a passion on the internet, anything about internet and anything about development. So for a few months, I coded Sulit.com.ph and we launched it in September 2006. As an experiment, we really didn't think that we need money. So we just need a simple web host and of course my time and a laptop to be able to create the initial version of Sulit. When we started, we only needed 600 pesos for the hosting and 1,800 pesos for the domain. Before we launched the website, I know that we will need at least 6 months to be able to prove something out of what we're doing. So before that, I went into a super freelancer mode, wherein I get all the projects that I can get. Because I know I need 6 months of saving. I can work with Sulit without earning anything. But for Aryan, I didn't ask her to resign from her job. So she was still working when we started with Sulit, but she was helping me with Sulit during the night. It was bootstrapped from the start. For the first 3 years, we didn't use any money for marketing or anything. The only thing that we really just spent on hosting and paying the salaries of the initial employees, or what we call team members. In 2009, we decided that we have, for the company to grow, we have to transfer here in Metro Manila. And we started hiring the core team. The problem we encountered back then is that's the first time that we're going to run a real company. When Sulit became the #1 local site in the Philippines in terms of traffic. Back then, we were not really looking for an investor. In a sense, the investors were the one who started talking to us, looking for us. Of course, we are newbies in this thing. I told my wife, let's talk to them, let's see what they're going to offer. So when we started talking with these potential investors, companies who have e-commerce sites wanting to partner with us, wanted to do joint ventures. For the investors, we talked to a couple who have the money to be able to fund the site. But the problem is they didn't have any experience in the internet space. And when my wife and I agreed that if we took just the money, it will be a big problem in the future because these guys really don't understand the internet space. And we have to explain to them every time there be a problem, every time we are losing traffic, why we are losing traffic, why we have to focus on user experience. So these are things that are difficult to explain to those who are not really playing on the internet space. That's why when we by the time that we selected the investor that we're going to partner with, more than the money, we selected someone who has a lot of knowledge about the internet space, and we know we are going to learn so much from them. So they started talking with us around August 2008. By November 2008, we agreed with the letter of intent. So we started the very long period of a Series A funding. So by August 2009, we already transferred in Ortigas, but we haven't closed the funding yet. And I know back then that we now need cash to run the company. But since the funding is not yet closed, what I told them is, guys, we are now ready to operate as a business. If you're not serious about funding us, we have to turn back with the transaction. And we have to find another investor to invest on the company. After 1 week, we were able to close the funding. For them, they're happy. They were happy because they know I have the guts to tell them that we need to close it for the best for the business. The good thing with them is, aside from the knowledge that we're going to get, they are investing on the people, on the management team. More than the product, they want a management team capable of running the business. So for the last 3 years that we're under NASPERS, we are actually the ones who are running everything. So from time to time, we are getting advice from them. If they're seeing something wrong with the business, they're going to tell us. But it's, the management control is with my wife and I. So that's the good thing. They really believe that we're capable of running the business.